in China. And then I highlight three aspects that related to foster love of book for children. They are creating unique environments, engagement, and book collections. Because children are naturally curious and love interactive and playful experiences. So the key is to make reading fun, visual, and engaging. The first one is creating a reading environment. As a teacher, we have to facilitate our students to a reading environment that make them safe, happy to read. In this example, students are given creating a bookish environment and reading habit. So in this part, the teacher can give the environment that related to them, the students, to build the reading habits. For example, we can start with the simple things like using of the interior or exterior walls of the classrooms. So in the journal, they say that the simple things that we can do is just we put something like encourage students to want to read a book. And then the next one, the class has a spatial book corner, and each student provide books for the whole class to borrow. And then in this second aspect, we can ask or provide our students a spatial book corner, and then we can also ask them to provide book for all class to borrow. For example, misalnya kita kita menjadi guru di sebuah kelas tertentu dan memberikan instruksi kepada mereka, ayo yang punya buku masing-masing bisa bawa buku tersebut gitu, boleh satu atau lebih, dan nantinya guru memfasilitasi dengan rak-rak buku yang bisa dijadikan sebagai book corner, di mana mereka bisa saling bertukar buku bacaan yang mereka punya. It is an example, simple example. And then make reading a social activity, like organized buddy reading, where students read together. And the next step, as a teacher, we can ask our students to make reading a social activity. Jadi kita bisa membuat aktivitas di mana mereka membaca buku. Metodenya adalah bisa read together, membuat mereka tertarik, nyaman karena ada teman yang juga mendukung situasi tersebut, seperti itu. And then the next one is engagement. It's about stimulate primary school students interest in reading, like make reading interactive and playful. This is basically focused on us as an educator, and then our characteristic
with all school stakeholders because it needs a lot of energy, funding, and also effort. Um, so when I was in junior high school, my school provided us mini library inside the classroom. The books in this mini library is very much different with the books inside the main library. In this mini library, only books for extensive reading, such as like novel, self-help, motivational books, or religious books. And with a wide selection of interesting books available, students develop a strong desire to read. And then the second is my experience when I was in senior high school. In our school, there is a time and space for students to read. And I was quite fortunate because our library was built next to the school garden, so we can read both inside the library or in that school garden, and that convenient place make us feel comfortable to spending time in reading. The next is create motivation. Okay. The next is create motivation. Inspire the students with some writings inside a certain book, and you can choose writings that is generally relevant with the students. To motivate students, we as teachers must first get to know them, what our students like or what interests them, and this way, by knowing them, we can provide or highlight interesting writing pieces from a certain books. We can also select passages that are generally relevant with the students, such as writing that over motivation, inspiration, self-love, or even a romance. And I think this can build students' curiosity in reading a book. The next is will be delivered by Demo.
The next is make books interactive. So the first digital integration pair books when they see books recommended by their peers, they are more likely to be interested in reading them. So based on my experience also when I was student, my friend give the recommendation book to me and the other friends and my friends also. Yeah, after that saya jadi penasaran to read novel from my friends yang buku rekomendasinya. Itu menurut saya bisa membuat si studentsnya jadi tertarik untuk membaca novel dan lain-lainnya.
Then the next explanation is angka 1, identifying 3 examples of text with different modes, and we will be answering 3 questions by analyzing the data. The first question is what modes are present in text 1, 2, and 3. The second question is how effective are these modes in supporting the subject you plan to teach. And then the third question is could learning outcomes be enhanced by incorporating modes other than text? For the first question, there are 3 multimodal texts. The first is visual mode, static image but in graphic forms. And then the second mode is audio visual or in videos form or animation. And then the third is visual mode. It is also static image but in poster and infographic form. And then the next question is how effective is the use of this mode in teaching the subject you plan to teach? The first mode is visual mode, static image but in graphic forms. There are some effectiveness that we think effective from visual mode. The first is vocabulary create image or draw, yeah, so it can stimulate their engagement and also creativity from the topic itself. And then next, audio visual mode or videos animation. There are some effectiveness. The first is contextual learning. Yeah, videos present real life language usage in meaningful context. Jadi by providing them videos, kita memberikan kesempatan kepada students bagaimana real conversation is used in real life situation, tergantung konteksnya juga. And then listening pronunciation. It exposure to authentic conversation, improve listening skills and pronunciation. Itu juga mereka bisa melatih listening skill and also their pronunciation, how to pronounce certain words yang mereka belum tahu mungkin bagaimana kata-kata itu diucapkan secara benar dan tepat. And now multi-sensory engagement, combining images, sound, and motion capture attention and also reinforces memory. And then the fourth is motivation and enjoyment. As we know, audiovisual itu kan sangat catching eyes ya. Itu bisa building their enjoyment in learning. Jadi media yang digunakan itu nggak monoton dan bisa membantu students untuk build their curiosity, motivation in learning and teaching process.
And next, jump to visual mode, static mode, still static mode, but poster version. So in this poster is talking about imaging. So how the effectiveness about this poster in teaching English, in learning English. So from the first one is helps students in understanding concept. So like mind mapping, poster is very useful for visual learner actually to correlate menghubungkan ide-ide pemahaman mereka dalam pembelajaran. And then because this is a picture visual, so it's really attract attention, and by attract attention, it also can meningkatkan daya ingat kita terhadap materi tersebut. Karena I think by this poster about the connection, by read by skimming, it's also itu tuh kayak cepat untuk meningkatkan daya ingat dari gambar saja. And the third one is flexible and easy to use, not only for English not only for English subject, but there is many subject that can use poster in learning. And also please take a look at the poster. It's really creative and really imaginative, and by creating poster, it's also can enhance students' creativity. Jadi mungkin kita sebagai teacher bisa untuk membuat atau menjadikan alat belajar siswa untuk membuat poster. Because in SMA 2 also has a lot poster in di setiap kelas, di setiap gedung itu karya siswanya. It's talking about the environmental. And what is the correlation with English subject, especially in analytical text? Because in PPL I teaching the analytical text. So the first one is have students to understand the structure of analytical text. Jadi dari gambar poster, dari poin-poin poster tersebut kita tuh bisa poster itu membantu siswa thinking. Siswa dapat menganalisis melalui informasi yang ada di poster tersebut. And then yang terakhir, make it easier for students to write their own analytical text. So di SMA 2 saya dulu juga bukan menyuruh sih, membuat tugas kepada siswanya untuk membuat teks analytical, tapi saya tidak dalam berbentuk poster, tapi dalam teks outline teks saja. Nah, tapi kalau ternyata saya juga baru realize kalau melalui poster itu juga bisa membuat siswa itu think more critically to write the text. Jadi bisa mungkin tugasnya bisa seperti write an analytical text based on the posters, segala macam. And then next, yang terakhir, could learning outcomes be enhanced by incorporating modes other than text? Ya, apakah pembelajaran lebih optimal dengan mode yang lain setelah yang kami jelaskan? Ya, tentu saja banyak mode yang bisa digunakan untuk proses pembelajaran terutama dalam bahasa Inggris. Jadi kami memilih mode-modenya yaitu mode gerak, ruang, dan digital. Kenapa? Karena di mode gerak itu kita bisa sebagai learners yang punya yang lebih memahami pembelajaran dengan cara hands gesture, it's really useful use the mode gerak. Jadi kalau di pembelajaran analytical itu bisa seperti di back kan, jadi lebih menggunakan facial expression atau hands gesture. And then spatial mode atau mode ruang itu contohnya seperti gallery mode. Influence students interaction and learning comfort helps create a more collaborative learning environment. Jadi contohnya seperti gallery work, seperti yang kita pernah lakuin sama Bu Lunggu itu di kelas ini. Gallery work kita memaparkan tentang modul ajar kita, jadi kita berkeliling satu-satu untuk sharing tentang informasi yang ada pada modul ajar. Jadi itu sangat cocok juga untuk pembelajaran di bahasa Inggris. Mungkin kalau di analytical bisa sharing tentang teks, tentang informasi atau diskusi terhadap teks tersebut. Kemudian of course digital tool, because we live in nowadays life. I use Kahoot and quizzes in PPL to make interactive collaboration and interactive learning. Jadi waktu itu saya menggunakan Kahoot untuk engage student juga sih sebenarnya. Dan menurut saya dengan Kahoot ini tentang analytical juga kemarin, menurut saya itu students juga lebih mudah mengingat tentang apa itu teks analytical karena belajarnya melalui quiz. So next, in conclusion, fostering a love for books in the digital age is not about rejecting technology but about using it strategically to enhance reading habits by making books accessible, giving students choice, using digital tools wisely, and creating social learning experience.